Under Sheriff Mike McCabe, Oakland County Sheriff's Office, for the second briefing. We're going to have another even more detailed briefing tonight at 10 o'clock at Sheriff's Headquarters in Pontiac on Telegraph. The governor's here. Chief Lyon, retired chief from Waterford, now worked for Rochester Hills Fire Department. Major Childs, Major Snary's here. FBI was here. U.S. Marshal, ATF was here. Just to tell you, some of the departments that have assisted us were the Southfield PD, Troy PD, Bloomfield Township PD, Michigan State Police, Oxford Village, FBI, U.S. Marshal, huge amount of fire departments, Lapeer County Sheriff's Office. So, as I told you earlier today, we had about 12:51. We had over 100 911 calls into our dispatch center of an active shooter at the Oxford High School, which is right across the way there. You've all seen it. Deputies responded and within 5 minutes had the suspect in custody. He did not cause any problems. He gave the weapon up. He did have the weapon on him at the time. It was a semi-automatic handgun. He'd fired multiple shots. We have updated information on the number of deceased. It is 3. We have 3 students, a 16-year-old male, a 14-year-old female, and a 17-year-old female. We also have 8 others that were shot in various stages at 3 different hospitals: McLaren Lapeer, McLaren Pontiac, and St. Joe's in Pontiac. The 2 people are currently in surgery, do not have their condition. The other 6 are all in stable condition with various gunshot wounds. The suspect, like I said, 15 years old, student of Oxford High School, lives in the village of Oxford. And if there's, Governor, if you want to say anything, and then I'll take any questions after that.
Well, I just appreciate the quick response of all of our first responders. My heart goes out to the families. This is an unimaginable tragedy. I hope that we can all rise to the occasion and wrap our arms around the families, the affected children and school personnel, and this community. It is an unimaginable tragedy, and I just wanted to be here because I think this is an important moment for us to support one another, to support this community, and I want to thank our first responders again.
Take limited questions. Again, we'll have much more detail tonight at 10. I can tell you we're still actively working the scene. Our forensic lab is here, multiple detectives. We had over 100 sheriff's deputies and patrol cars and unmarked cars respond, plus a huge amount of patrol cars from other area agencies that I listed prior to this.
Anything new on motivation as to what might have motivated him to do this?
I'm sorry, sir?
Anything new on what might have motivated him?
We don't have a motive at this point in time. We are still investigating that.
Mike, what do you know about possible warning signs we're hearing from students and parents?
We're hearing all kinds of rumors about warning signs. I can tell you that we have a school liaison deputy that's assigned to the high school. I'm not aware of, and we are not aware of any warnings. If there were, I can tell you we work very closely with Tim Throne, the superintendent, and the principal at the school. If there were, I got to believe they would have told us. There's all kinds of stuff out on social media. Please don't believe everything you hear and see on social media. I've seen one screenshot of something about allegedly the shooter warning people not to come to school today, but that was somebody that got it from somebody. So please be careful with that information. There's a lot of, because of social media, there's a lot of stuff out there. I can't confirm whether it's true or not. Ultimately, we will get to the bottom of this. We're executing a search warrant at the suspect's house. As I said, he's not cooperating with us at this point in time.
So you have made contact with the parents? Can you say what they are talking about yet? Have you had a chance to talk
We have
to
talked to the parents, and all I can tell you is they didn't want their son to talk to us, and they've hired an attorney.
Was the student in school in class today? Or
Yes, he was in class today, yes.
The shooting happened in a class?
The shooting happened in the school. Most of the shootings, as my understanding, is in the south end of the school. I can't tell you specifically if it was in a classroom, or we will have more detail for you at 10 o'clock tonight.
Do we know the students that were shot? Were they in the hallway in the classroom with him? Do we know any more details on where
I can't tell you that because I don't know.
Were they targeted specifically?
We don't know if they were targeted. We will get to the bottom of that as we get further into this investigation.
Whose weapon was it?
I'm sorry?
This quick response obviously saved many lives.
Absolutely. I can tell you, Oxford Community Schools and our office have trained multiple times on active shooters. This school district's been very good in training their personnel and their students on active shooters.
Governor, does this mean a legal re-examination of training in schools?
I think it's too
Please
early
step up
to,
Step to the mic.
Governor.
I think it's too early to talk about policies that might need to change as a result of this. We're relying on law enforcement to share information as it is available, but at this point, I think we need to focus on the tragedy at hand in the moment.
How did you hear about this, Governor? Can you just talk to us about when you heard about this?
My team has been in communication with Dave Coulter and leadership here in Oakland County, the Sheriff's Office, Michigan State Police, and so I heard pretty quickly, but obviously we've been monitoring it, not having a lot of information, and so I appreciate the work that they're
Governor,
doing to keep us all informed.
We have seen these in other states and other parts of the country. Now it's here. What does that say?
That this is a uniquely American problem that we need to address, but at this juncture, I think we need to focus on the community, the families, supporting all the first responders, including the incredible people at our hospitals that are working so hard to save the lives of those who are fighting for their lives right now.
And I can tell you're so deep, and as you should be. You're a mom and you're a human being. You're so deeply affected by this. Talk to us about that.
I think this is every parent's worst nightmare.
Mike, you're still working the scene of the school.
Correct.
Chances are school will not be held there tomorrow or anytime soon, correct?
I got to believe school's not going to be in session tomorrow. That's
Yeah,
correct.
you have a big scene to...
That is correct. We've done 3 sweeps of the high school to make sure that there's no other victims or anything else that we need to be aware of. But it's a fairly large crime scene. Like I said, our forensic lab is here processing the scene. I can tell you that all the parents and relatives have been notified of the deceased and of everyone that is that was shot, and a deputy has been assigned to each and every family.
Do you know where he obtained the weapon?
Yes, I know, but I'm not going to say at this point in
You
time.
said you talked to the parents of the shooter.
Very briefly.
Are they cooperating?
Well, in that they came and saw their son at our Oxford Township substation and then left.
And they told him not to speak to police?
That's correct. Which is his right.
But that would also indicate not a willingness to cooperate at this time.
Well, at this time, who knows what the future brings.
He's in Pontiac now, is that correct?
He's at Pontiac Children's Village. He's 15 years old, so he's lodged as a juvenile at this point in time. He could be charged as an adult. Again, that's totally up to the Oakland County Prosecutor's Office.
How would you characterize the parents? Were they cooperative?
You know,
Were they
I
taking any of your questions?
I can't say I wasn't there. I can just tell you they came to the substation. They met with their son. They told us that they would not let him talk. We have to, in a juvenile, we have to get permission from the parents or the guardian of that juvenile in order to speak to them. And we did not get that.
2 letters sent home to parents this month regarding other threats. Any indication that they're tied together?
No, there's no indication of that. I know a question came up earlier about a deer head incident. This is absolutely unrelated. That was a different incident, a different student.
Any indication that this shooter was bullied in school?
No indication at this point in time, but you know, it's ongoing, so I don't know.
Do you know whether or not this is a student who had contact with discipline?
I got 2 talking at once. Go ahead.
What does the school do to make sure guns aren't getting in, and how might that have broken down?
Well, we have a deputy assigned to the school full-time, obviously. Not all schools have metal detectors. They have one entrance. This school district has taken great care, in my opinion. I live here. I live about 1.5 miles from here. I can tell you, I know the superintendent personally. He has been very proactive in terms of trying to protect the school district. So I think they've done everything they can. Should every school and every building have metal detectors? You know, it's very expensive, but I can't answer that question. I don't know.
Was the deputy on duty the one who actually...
Hang on, you go next.
How much ammunition did he have on?
He fired multiple shots, somewhere in the area of 15 to 20 at this point in time.
Undersheriff, do you know whether or not this is a student who had contact with discipline in the past with this school system?
I don't know that.
Undersheriff, was it a ghost gun?
What, a ghost gun?
Gun, a gun that was
No.
made,
No.
unregistered?
No, I can tell you it was not.
Was it firearm that he legally had?
I can't say. I can just tell you it's not a ghost gun.
Was it
Was it
within the
registered to
family?
a family member?
I'm not going to get into that at this point in time.
Was the deputy assigned to the school the one who apprehended
The
him?
deputy and another deputy who also responded were the ones that took him into custody.
And you said that was all within 5 minutes.
My information is from the time the first call came in to the time he was taken into custody was 5 minutes, approximately 5 minutes. We had over 100 911 calls come into our 911 center.
And having said that, can you characterize if they had not intervened within that 5 minutes, This could have been a lot worse, and he could have kept shooting, perhaps.
You know, I don't know if he ran out of bullets or not at this point in time, so I don't want to speculate.
Was the assigned deputy in the building at the time of the shooting?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Did the assigned deputy, the full-time deputy, encounter the shooter, or was he inside the building when it happened?
He and another deputy took him in custody in the building. I'm sorry?
Oh, what about the 6 that are injured? Howard, you got any updates on their?
I've just got the 2 are in surgery. We don't know their conditions. And 6 are in stable condition. There are a total of 11. 3 dead, 8 shot.
8 shot.
Correct. Yeah, updated from the last time we were here. Correct.
Do you know if there's surveillance video in the school that might assist?
There is a lot. This school district does a great job with cameras. There are multiple cameras that detectives are going to have to go through and search.
How's the FBI assisting?
They're here to give us all the support we need. As you know, the Special Agent in Charge Waters was here earlier, and they will give us technical assistance in terms of, you know, we've got social media searches, we have potential cell phones. There are 1,800 students that go to this high school, okay? I'm not saying all 1,800 were here today, but we have to interview each and every one if they have any knowledge whatsoever.
Do you have any information on the makeup of the 11 injured between teachers and students?
One teacher, the rest are students.
Under Sheriff, I assume that you're also looking for information from the public, anybody who's had contact with this young man or anybody. So why don't you make your plea to the public?
But yeah, please, if anybody has any information, you can call the Sheriff's Dispatch Center at 248-858-4911. That's 248-858-4911.
What kind of information are you looking for from the public?
Any information they may have. You know, if they've heard, if they know anything at all about this young man or what was going to happen or what happened today, they can call us.
To your knowledge, is this suspect had any prior run-ins with law enforcement?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Thanks, Under Sheriff.
Okay, all right. We'll be 10 again, 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock here?
No, at Sheriff's Headquarters in Pontiac, 38 East, Building 38 East, 1200 North Telegraph. It'll be a lot warmer because we'll be inside.
So you're first going to have to name again.
Michael McCabe.